community baby shower.
Good morning, Muscatine. It's still dark and dreary. It's still March. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's Wednesday. We've got to be almost through the week by now. It's supposed to snow, I think. It's not gonna get any better for a little bit, but spring is coming. I'm working on graduation stuff, so it can't be that bad, right? You know, graduation's coming. If you've got seniors, you better get ready if you're not already. Getting ready already? Already getting ready already? I don't know. Couple quick things to top off the show that you can do coming up this weekend. Don't forget, you can still go see the Wilton Fine Arts Guild and their Agatha Christie Mousetrap production. You can check out their Facebook page to see that. Don't forget to sign up for Bowl for Kids' Sake. You can do that through their social media. You can get to their site, contact Lindsay Phillips out at the Y, 563-263-9996. And then the other thing is Master Gardeners have their Art of Gardening workshop coming up in a week and a half or so. You can still register through the end of this week. So this morning, though, we have some cool stuff to talk about that actually happened last month, to kind of like recap a little bit, and a couple cool new things coming back up from the United Way. So I have Hilary here with me. How are you?
Good. How
Good to
are
see you again. Good, I think. I mean, we could use a little more sunshine out there.
Yes.
It's still a little gray, but
it's not snowing or icy today, though, right?
Yet. I hear it's coming. I don't know. We'll see. So for everybody, real quick, could you just kind of give them a quick overview of what your role at United Way is, and just kind of like what you help connect down there?
Absolutely. I'm the Community Engagement Manager with United Way of Muscatine. So I oversee our volunteer center. United Way has a volunteer website that any nonprofit entity in the county can utilize to post their volunteer needs, and then any citizen of Muscatine County can go on and find volunteer opportunities, great ways to connect with the community and give back. So I oversee the volunteer center, and then I'm also in charge of the resource development, so kind of the fundraising aspect to help raise funds for education, housing, and household stabilization or basic needs programs in Muscatine County.
And, you know, I would imagine, like just about everybody else down in that office, you're all sort of jack of all trades and all sort of just jump in and help wherever it's needed. So
absolutely, yeah, it's a great place to work. Everybody down there is really great about jumping in. We all help each other out when we need it, and it's fun.
So last month, you guys had the first it was Live United
Celebration luncheon.
Celebration luncheon. I knew there was one more word in there and I could not remember, but it was the celebration luncheon. Margaret actually did a story on it that you can see on Discover Muscatine. We actually have a link in the post there for you. But kind of tell us about that and like where it came from, because it actually celebrates a lot of really cool stuff and people in Muscatine.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really fun event. So in the past, we've had kind of campaign wrap-up celebrations before, where we celebrate all of the great workplace campaigns and individual fundraising efforts that have gone on over the last year, and then we've had a separate volunteer celebration. So this year we decided it'd be really fun to celebrate all of the great things that are happening, because so often the same people who are in same companies who are giving back through volunteerism are also giving back financially. So we thought it'd just be really fun to have one big celebration and recognize all of the great things that are being done in our community. So we opened up nominations, so anybody could nominate any company. We did students, individuals, small businesses, mid-sized businesses, and large businesses to recognize for 3 different awards. So we had the Hand Raiser Award, which recognized great volunteer efforts, the Game Changer Award, which recognized really over-the-top, amazing workplace campaigns, and then we had the Spirit of Giving Award, which recognizes giving back to the community through both volunteerism and financial contributions.
Gotcha. So is there any of the awards you want to highlight from that night? Is there anything you want to speak to specifically on that?
I think it was just a really amazing event. We got to recognize a lot of great businesses. I even learned through nominations that were coming in of some great businesses that I wasn't previously aware of, like Seated Earth. They were the recipient of one of our awards. Autumn, who is native to the show, she and her husband Scott own Impact Fitness, and they were the recipient of an award for the small business category. We had Kent Corporation, which was our major donor. But then also, there were nominees who didn't win that do so many great things, and even organizations in the community that do great work that were able to attend, and we were able to celebrate with them whether or not they received an award. I had so many people come up to me afterwards that just said they felt inspired after the event, and I think that's really what we wanted, is to inspire people through the great things that are being done to give back and do more, and what we can accomplish together is so much greater than what any one of us can do alone.
One of the things that I thought was great is Wayne Johansson spoke from Midwest One, and you know, that's one transition that's happened, you know, over the last year and a half. I don't know how long it's been, from First National to Midwest One, and you know, they've done a great job of between Wayne and Amber and like the whole team down there, just making sure that it stays integrated with the community the way it always has. So that was something that was really nice to see from my point of view.
Absolutely. They continue to be great supporters. So Amber's actually on our board at United Way. They allow us to host our pancake breakfast for our Kids First Fund there a couple times a year. Crossroads does it in the summer months, and then Midwest Fund does it in the winter. So they continue to be great supporters. And we actually, Shane and I met with them when they were kind of wrapping up the transition this summer, and they made it very clear to us that they are Muscatine. They want to continue to support our local community, and they've done so. So we're very happy about that.
Well, it was actually cool. So a couple of weeks ago, I got to help out with the, God, I never know what to call these things. Shane would have an awesome name for it, but it was the community
investment.
Community investment teams that helped like review the grants for the funding and help distribute it and all that stuff. And Amber was on it, and you know, the conversations that you get to have during those things are amazing, because you see all these great programs doing great things, and you actually get to see the data, like, you know, help this many kids and this many kids or this many adults, and you know, like, so it's just really a great thing. And just thinking of Amber made me think of that. But
thank you for volunteering for that, by the way.
No problem.
It's great that we have community members who are involved in that, because they get to see the programming, they get to make the decisions on where the United Way dollars are invested, so we can continue to support self-sufficiency. And it's great that we have so many volunteers like yourself to step up and do that, because it's not an easy task.
No, it's not. I mean, there was, let's see, it was like me, Melanie from CBI, Lainey Berry, Amber, there was one other person I can't remember at the moment because they were on Zoom. But, you know, we got a presentation from each one of the grant requesters, full packet, financials, metrics, the whole 9 yards. And I'll say this, Shane, I mean, I remember back when I was at Flickinger helping down there, and when you would turn in a United Way grant, now this is probably, let's call it 10, 15 years ago, I don't know, long time ago. You know, like literally you'd have to make these like 40-page packets, and you had to make like 40 copies of it, and 16 of them had to be upside down, and 3 of them had to be mirrorized or something, I don't remember. But you were like always so worried about putting this packet together, and like you almost took more energy to put but that's what they needed, because they had so many people they were giving it to, and you know, you had these on-site visits and all this other stuff. And Shane's got it down to where we were able to do the whole thing in a morning. You know, we were able to review 11 grant requests, I think it was, have a presentation from them through Zoom. So we got to ask questions, we got to do all that, you know, because a lot of them, you know, the programs, like we don't need to go visit the particular thing. So it was great. It was smooth. We were able to kind of like run through the process, because there's this like portal thing. It's super awesome. So shout out to Shane and whoever else helped. I know, I'm sure a lot of you helped him do it. He didn't probably do it by himself.
Mostly Shane. He runs that.
I don't know.
He's streamlined a lot.
I don't know.
I think it made it a lot easier for people.
Shane, I don't know. I feel like there's no. But no, seriously, it was a pleasure to be a part of. So speaking of fundraising and all that fun stuff, we got a couple big things coming up.
Yes.
The first one is that we want to talk about is the community baby shower.
Yes.
So what is the community, like I know what it is, but like for everybody else, what is it?
So the Community Baby Shower is a community-wide drive that we host every year in April. And so we're asking businesses and religious-based organizations, civic organizations, if they would be willing to host a community baby shower drive. So essentially what you do, you have a box out, you collect items, baby-related items, and then at the end of the month, we're able to distribute them, so we can come pick them up from you, or you can drop them off at United Way, and then we distribute those items to local organizations in our community that help parents and families who have young children. So some of the places that get the donations are Salvation Army, MCSA, the Y, the Hopes Program, Community Diaper Bank. So a number of different organizations in our community benefit from that. We also do accept financial donations, which has really come in handy this year. Muscatine Public Health's another one, because throughout the year you may have families who need something. I know recently I had MCSA reach out because they had a mother who needed a stroller. She had a young child, she was going to have another baby, and because of the community baby shower, we had funding available to help her with that. Another one was Public Health reached out because they needed a high chair for one of their parents. So all of those things we accept. It's clothing, diapers, wipes, formula is a big one, especially with the last couple of years. A variety of baby items that are needed, and then like I said, they're dispersed between the organizations, and we've had great success with that in the past. It's just a great way to get your business, get your employees involved, and give back to the community, and it doesn't take a lot of effort. It's just setting up a box and posting on Facebook.
What I was going to say, that's exactly where I was going, because like last year, I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but there was probably about 2 or 3 businesses that, like, for about 2.5 weeks, like, it was all community baby shower, bring us baby, and they got tons of stuff. And, you know, a lot of times people don't realize, like, on some of the small businesses that aren't necessarily like a retail kind of small business, they don't necessarily always realize how impactful their social media can be. But oftentimes it just takes one person to pick it up, share it, and then all of a sudden, you know, the algorithm picks it up and everybody in town seeing your stuff. So, and it, you know, at that point, obviously it's not about promoting you, it's about getting baby stuff, right? So,
and the more people you get involved, right, the more businesses that do it, the more people you're going to reach, because everybody's connected in a different way. So, well,
and the other thing that's also nice about it is almost every time you see something, people are talking about what the other side of it is. So it's not just about like donating stuff in, it's if you need help, here are the places you can go, or, you know, donate. And so it's just kind of this thing that, you know, we all talk about this, you know, communication in Muscatine and getting information out it's a tricky business, right? You know, because some people still read a paper, some only look on social media, some just get it on TikTok, which is scary. But, you know, so you've got to have it everywhere. Social media obviously does a great job of that, and gets both sides of that message out. So
absolutely.
It was a lot of fun to watch last year. We'll see who takes the social media crown for it this year. It should be interesting.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we could probably come up with some funny videos involving diapers and like there's got to be something there, right?
And I'll be sending out more information in March, but anybody who's interested in hosting a drive can reach out to me directly. My email address is Hilary, Hilary, at unitedwaymuscatine.org, or you can call me at 563-279-4237 and I can get you more information. Okay,
so after that, we've got Night at the Races coming up, which is back.
We are so excited, and so are so many of our stakeholders who've been involved in this in the past. So we haven't done Night at the Races since 2012, but we did it for 3 years, 2010, 2011, and 2012, and it was a fan favorite. Everybody loved this event. It went on hiatus, but I'm so excited to announce that it is back, and it's going to be May 4th at Geneva Country Club, so save the date for that. We are selling tickets now, so tickets are $35 a piece, or you can get a table of 8, which comes with 8 drink tickets and a horse sponsorship, which means you get to name a horse that participates in this race. It is a video race. It's not an actual horse. It is an actual horse, but not a live one that's racing that day. So yeah, you get to name a horse and cheer it on for $300 for a table of 8. So that's a big favorite for a lot of businesses to get their employees to be able to attend, or it could just be a group of friends that want to go and have the opportunity to have drink tickets included and the opportunity to name a horse. We're also still selling horse sponsorships. Those are $25 a piece. So anybody who wants to buy an individual ticket or maybe just 2 tickets and sponsor a horse, contact me for that as well. We have those available. We are going to be having a fashion show this year. So anybody who comes in derby attire, we're still finalizing the details.
Well, I was going to say, that's one thing that we should maybe take a half a step back for those that didn't know what Night at the Races was. So this event was May 4th, you said, if I remember
Yes.
right? Okay, so the Kentucky Derby is that weekend,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
this is like a Kentucky Derby themed affair, right? So with a fashion show, I'm imagining some really big hats,
Yes.
lots of bright colors
We
is what we're
encourage
going for.
people to come in their best derby attire.
I can see, Tony, if you're watching out there, I want a big hat.
Yeah, so we'll have a male and female competition separately. So, you know, guys, you can dress in your best attire. Ladies, we'd love to see the big derby hats and derby attire. So yeah, it's a Kentucky Derby themed event. So we'll have pre-recorded horse races. We have businesses that are going to be race sponsors. Heinz, huge thank you to them. They are overall event sponsor for this, so we're super excited to be
Awesome.
partnering with them on this. But you will have races. There will be 6 races, 12 horses in each race, and so people can sponsor a horse and name it whatever you like, some little fun name, and then go, and we have funny money that you'll receive, so you can bet on your horses. And it's just a fun event. If you are the winner or second place, you win money, and then you can bet again, and so it's a lot of fun. The winners of the first 5 races, places 1 and 2, will then be able to participate in the final race. They'll have their horses in the final race to be the crown winner at the end of the event. So it should be a lot of fun. We are looking for silent auction and raffle donations. So if anybody is listening and they want to donate something, let me know. The more that we have, the more money we can raise. And this fundraiser is to benefit education and housing programs in Muscatine County. We all know how important it is to have a solid educational foundation, and then the housing crisis that we're experiencing now. The more that we can invest in that, the better. So that is what this fundraiser will benefit.
That's awesome. And that's, you know, one thing that we always talk about is like the interconnectivity of, you know, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, Mr. Lampe was here from Habitat for Humanity, and we've had the Community Foundation talking about like 3D printing, and you know, and you guys have been right in the middle of all that as well. And so it's one of those things where we need funding. Some comes from the state, some comes from grants, but we also as a community need to invest in this. And you know, I always love how you guys do like these fun nights, because you're still raising the money, and it's a lot more fun to do that than to just like, oh hey, here's a thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like so it brings a lot more attention to it, and it also gives us an excuse to quickly talk about housing, like those things that Muscatine needs to continually address.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that 1/3 of families in Muscatine County struggle to meet their basic needs every single month. And so that's why our goal is to increase self-sufficiency, and we're doing that by investing in housing, education, and then of course there's always going to be a need to support basic needs.
Right.
But the more people that we can get to the self-sufficiency level because they have education and training, and they have a safe, affordable, sustainable place to live, that's going to make a difference.
Well, and that's one thing that, you know, the entire nonprofit community has done a good job of articulating, and I'm going to almost say codifying this concept of, you know, 30, like you said, 30% of Muscatine has a hard time on one way or another meeting their obligations and their needs for the month. But it's not just handouts. It's not just like, oh, let's throw money at this, and the problem will go away. It's concerted efforts to get to the root cause of the problems, which we know can be education, sustainability, or housing, like reliable, affordable housing that puts people in a comfortable state. And I shouldn't say like comfortable, like feet up, recliner, like not that sort of thing, but you know, when you have to make decisions based on the urgency of a need versus the right decision, it puts you in a position where you unfortunately almost have to make the wrong decision, right? And so the way you guys approach this, and it goes all the way through the programs like that we looked at, is how do you make sure that we're doing this in a way that helps prevent this from being a need next year, right? Like, or, you know, maybe it's a, you know, we looked at one program that's like just kicking off, and the goal is to get it self-sustaining in like 2 or 3 years, right? So can we invest in that for a couple years, and then there's this program that'll just kind of run itself, and then it can support 7 to 8 individuals, and that's a great community investment. So
Right.
I love how the United Way, and not just you guys, but you guys are right there at the core of it. So it's fun to watch, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there anything else? We've talked about a lot so far. I feel like there was one more thing you wanted to talk about.
There's a couple more.
Or a couple.
So,
Okay.
reading mentors. So
Oh, right,
our
right,
reading
right.
mentor
Yeah.
program, it has been super successful, and it's basically where there's a classroom volunteer. We have it piloted this year in Madison and Grant elementary schools, and we've seen great success. So Madison, for instance, their kindergarten cohort saw an increase in their fast reading scores from fall to winter of 33%. The kindergarten class has the most amount of reading mentors in there. That compares with last year, prior to when we implemented reading mentors, there was a 5% increase from the same time period. So we've seen that, and of course, it's the teachers, it's the after-school program, it's reading mentors.
Right.
It's not just one thing.
Nope.
I think we've said it a million times. It's nothing that one person can do alone. When we all
Yep.
come together, we can make a massive impact. And this is one example of that. We've also seen progress at Grant Elementary School. So now Jefferson Elementary School has reached out to us, and they would love to have reading mentors in their classrooms too. So I need volunteers who are willing to go in once a week for 1 hour to the same classroom for the remainder of the school year and read to small groups of children, have them read to you, practice sight words. And then they also need some math mentors for their 4th graders, and that's for 30 minutes. One time per week, and there's different time frames available. All of these opportunities are on our volunteer website, but you can also reach out to me. But we need to invest back in our children, back in our schools, because they are our future.
Right.
And that's how we continue to increase self-sufficiency. So if you are interested in volunteering, please reach out to me. Look at our website. There's a lot of opportunities, and our reading mentors were just in my office this week. A couple of them took a picture, and they will tell you. One of them, I won't call her out by name, but she said, "I think I'm getting more out of this than the kids are." She said, "Some days, when you've got a busy day, you think I've got too much on my plate, but I go and I always feel so refreshed and so glad that I went in." So it really does give as much back to the volunteers as it does to the kids.
It does. I got a couple of weeks ago, I got to go speak to the 6th graders at Madison over their lunch, just about my career and like what it's like in media, and they got to ask some questions, and it was the same thing. Like, I left energized, and then interestingly, just yesterday they were here talking about the blood drive that the Madison Student Leadership does. And so, we had 6 or 7 of them. They didn't even need me. They were just sitting here telling everybody about it. I'm just sitting there going, yeah, good job. Yeah, here, keep the mic, go. And the thing that I love about, we all know that like 3rd grade reading is like this huge milestone point, right? And if you can get kids there, and I'm going to make up something, their chances of graduating like go through the roof. It's just,
it is.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you guys get that early, but then what's great about it is if you even take like a Maslow concept to this, that's the fundamental stuff, right? That's the stuff they've got to be able to do. And yesterday when those kids were here, these are 6th graders who are spending their time working on getting adults to go give blood for their community. They couldn't do that if they were behind the 8 ball on their reading, math, and things like that. And it's kind of fun to see it. I actually tossed one of them a quick algebra equation while we were here, and like they're all just like popping it off, right? And it's that same concept. It's just got to be natural. It's got to be so ingrained into them, and that's what these mentors do, is they give them that like incentive, that extra little, oh, I'm not just staring at a book, I've got somebody who actually cares about me, I've got somebody who can read, another positive role model. It all just adds up so that down the road they can take the step on to bigger and better things.
Right.
So,
and it's so important. When you invest in the kids early, like you said, you're investing in them by going to speak to their classroom. Now they're investing in the community by organizing a blood drive. And same thing, so we've got 2 Day of Caring events coming up. L&M has their Falcon Day of Caring on April 1st. They're reaching out to me and saying, what can we do? We want to have an event. Muskie Day of Caring is going to be May 12th. Same thing. I went to speak. Thank you to our senior survivor kids, Kaylee and Gabe, who raised money for Kids First.
Kaylee and Gabe. Kaylee and Gabe. I got to give a shout out to my Muskie Minutes guys. They bail me out of stuff. They were here for freezing for food. Those Muskie Minute kids are great. Kaylee and Gabe.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Sorry.
amazing. So I went to speak to one of their classes, and Kaylee was in it about potentially doing a video for United Way. They're super excited about doing that. And they asked me, are we going to do Day of Caring? Absolutely. So we're getting that set up now. I'll be reaching out to some nonprofits to see who needs assistance. And those kids are going to be going out and getting their hands dirty helping out on May 12th.
So are you making the Muskie Minutes kids do a video for that?
So
Totally
the
should.
kids that are doing a video, it is a class that is focused on that. It's work-based learning. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's Muskie
that's
Minutes.
yep, that's
okay.
my. So that means I'll probably get a call from Becky here in a little bit,
yep,
going,
yep, it's Becky.
"Hey, yeah, like, hey, like, how do we want to do this?" Because I swing in and help them with
nice.
a lot of stuff. And
Okay.
they've got some of our equipment there that they can use to help make videos
Fantastic.
and stuff like that.
See,
So
all
it's
full circle,
it
right?
is, it's fun. God, those kids are great. Like
Yeah.
those kids, way smarter than we were. Just
They're
gonna say that.
amazing. They
Yeah.
really are. And they're so community-minded. I love
They
that
are.
about the younger generation.
God, and you know, everybody says, "Oh, the younger kids don't," blah blah blah. Go actually hang out with some of them. Like, they may have a different perspective on it than the older generations do. You know, like they may talk about it differently. They may not do it like, you know, maybe there's some organization that, you know, has a lot of older adults in it. They may not go down that path, right? But they are significantly more, I know this, I can speak to this for sure. They're way more community minded than my class was. I can guarantee you that, right?
I think so too.
You know, and we, not like we were bad kids or anything. I mean, we did our senior projects, you know, whatever, but
Right.
they all, it's like a little more ingrained into them, I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely. I mean, but
so-
they're giving back from the time last spring. I know we had some
Yeah.
of the elementary kids, like as young as second grade, that wanted to go down and they were picking up sticks and trash at the park, you know, at the riverfront. And they are wanting to give back and make their community a better place to live. And they can say that to you. They know why they're
Yes.
helping. They know the importance
Yes.
of giving back.
And, you know, I don't know where that comes from. I can take some guesses. You know, I know the school district has a lot of impact in that. I know they talk about that ad nauseum, right?
Right.
I know a lot of the after school programs do. I mean, like, it's a
Absolutely.
community conversation that we have with younger people. And
Absolutely.
you can tell it's paying off, right? You know, because
For sure.
it didn't exist 20 years ago, folks. Like, when I was younger here, you know, I graduated in '97. I mean, there was some stuff, you know, but not like it is now.
Right.
And it's definitely made a difference. So,
Absolutely.
wow, holy cow, that's a lot. Recap, man, we're gonna have to recap this. Okay, so the Live United luncheon was awesome. Recognize individuals, businesses. You can read Margaret's story about it on discovermuscatine.com.
She did a great job. She covered every winner.
she
so
nailed
check
it.
it out.
Yep, as always.
Yeah.
And then we've got the community baby shower coming up. Contact her to be a part of that. We've got Night at the Races, which is the Derby themed night fundraiser for housing and education. We've got the high schools have their Days of Caring coming up, and you
Yep.
guys all have a Day of Caring coming up.
So our
as well.
big citywide Day of Caring is going to be in the fall.
Oh, it's
It'll
fall.
be
Oh, right,
September.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh God,
So-
it is only
So it'll be
Yeah.
September. I'm
Pardon me.
waiting for reservations for the school system to open up so I can
Gotcha.
hopefully book our luncheon location.
Gotcha.
And then we'll finalize the date
Gotcha.
at that point.
Okay.
But I'm hoping we'll do another intern Day of Caring. We did our first ever citywide
Oh, that's
intern Day
right,
of
yeah.
Caring last summer, so hopefully we can do
Gotcha.
that again.
Awesome. Well, thank you for stopping out. It's been a blast as always. And again, if you guys need to know anything, email her, call her, United Way. You can find it anywhere. It's not hard. So thank you again for stopping in. And
Thank you.
Muscatine, we will see